Greetings Exiles, welcome to Class Locked, a new series where I will be playing all the base classes and choosing a build for each one. After every solo self-found run I unlocking the next class. After completing the run, I will go over the positives and negatives of the build and share I recommending it or not. Our next class is the Monk, and the ascendancy is Invoker. Skill we choosing Ice Strike and Frozen Locust. This class is getting more and more popular with the new ascendancy announcement Martial Artist that is coming in 0.5. How the build works in very short. We're using Ice Strike and Frozen Locust combination. While I was leveling, I was using Glacial Cascade instead of Ice Strike. Ice Strike is a multiple stage skill and it has a high attack speed and a big combo finishing at the end. And Frozen Locust, you put on the ground little crystal and you can destroy it, or your enemies can destroy it, and it will blow up and deal massive amount of damage. This is where our signal target and clear will come from for the X and on the end game as well. And also I mentioned why I was leveling, I was using Glacial Cascade. Glacial Cascade is literally what is the name is stating: further away your character from the target, the Glacial Cascade will hit much harder, and also can consume the freeze to deal even more damage. And this is coming handy especially while you just leveling in X, because majority of the time the bosses will getting frozen and you will consuming your freeze, and then you basically almost one-tapping the boss. And the positives for this build has a very nice clear, and also it has shatter sounds as well, because this is a cold based build and we freezing almost every single pack instantly with the Frozen Locust. And also Frozen Locust is exploding almost a 5-meter area. That means literally majority of the packs is just instantly getting cleared, and even with Herald of Ice chaining, it can clear the next pack as well if they close to each other. The signal target of this build is also kinda insane, and that is even happening in the campaign. I was using Glacial Cascade and Frozen Locust on the boss fights in X and also for the campaign clear, but the clips in the background will tell you even more. It's kinda insane, and honestly I was mind blown away by the signal target of this combination, and because of that the bosses will almost die instantly. You just need to freeze them and you basically completed the boss fight pretty damn quickly, and even without a good weapon, because luckily you don't need a weapon for this build, because Holopalm is just so strong for the early game, and I only swapped to quarterstaffs at level 54 because I was lucky with a very good weapon, and basically Holopalm will carry you, and you don't need to worry about the weapon upgrades, because that is often coming in very hard ways. The Monk class is super flexible. You can swap any different Monk builds pretty easily because the trees is looking very similar often, and I know there are many Flicker Strike enjoyers out there, and you can literally easily just transition to Flicker Strike if you really want from this type of build, but I think you guys often just leveling with Flicker as well, right? And of course Martial Artist will be pretty damn good ascendancy even for this build, but there will be more broken versions, I'm pretty sure, such as like the Whirling Assault or something like that. But this build overall, it's a pretty damn good leveling and also a mid-game build as well. And honestly maybe I will push a little bit further in the end game, because I was having a very nice time with this one. And now the negatives, guys, because every single build sadly has a negative side. So the biggest drawback of this build is very squishy in Acts and in the early game as well, till you have the evasion and energy shield set up. Honestly, this is not even surprising, I think, because we're on the right side of the tree, and there is not too much to do against that, because you have only evasion and energy shield scaling, which is both pretty damn low in the Acts. And also this build is a melee. Even we dealing a pretty huge AoE, but this is still considered a melee, because you need to put down your Frozen Locust and hit with your Ice Strike or with your Glacial Cascade. And also damage over time pools everywhere, especially on obbises, and also temporal bubble exists. So you know guys, when you're playing a melee, you literally signing to all of these problems. And also Ice Strike can teleport you a very bad spot like Detonate Dead or in the middle of a pack, and you will getting just killed or just getting chunked very hard, and you will panically starting dodge rolling away from the danger. And also this build is a multiple button build, mostly a 2-button combination. And even in X you using Frozen Locust and Glacial Cascade, and later you swap this to Ice Strike, but this is still a combo gameplay. Maybe not many people will liking it, but honestly, in my humble opinion, that was not that bad, and I think this combination was pretty damn satisfying to execute it. Frozen Locust makes your character jump back a little, which is kinda annoying in the long term. And also because your character jumping back a little bit, you slowing down yourself because of that. So literally if you're using your skills pretty often, which is happening, then you literally just making the whole act or the map last much longer, because you cannot do really just roll forward and put down, because if you're rolling forward you can get killed pretty damn easily. There are mana problems with this build, especially if your weapon is have +2 melee skills. I mentioned earlier I got a very good quarter staff. That staff had +6 to melee abilities. My mana cost was skyrocketed to the moon, and literally with like 3 or 4 attack I could deplete my whole mana bar, and I forget to upgrade my mana flask because I was using Holopalm, because with Holopalm you don't have this problem at all, because with Holopalm you have a very decent mana consumption, by the way, so you don't need to worry about that one at all. When you're swapping from Holopalm to a quarterstaff, keeping this one in mind, because you will need some sort of mana recovery, or you will need to press mana flask pretty often. Did I recommending this build? Yes, absolutely. Even against the negatives, the positives is outweighing pretty damn easily. I had a very good time to leveling this build, and also figuring it out how to exactly deal damage, and also, you know, it was a kind of new playstyle to me as well, because you literally was needed to use 2-button to just deal damage, and also honestly that was a pretty damn satisfying combination as well. And once again, I know there is a lot of negatives, but honestly this is Path of Exile 2, which build doesn't have that much drawbacks, especially if you're playing as a melee, right? So there will be always negatives, but at least the new ascendancy will make a pretty damn good combo even with this build. And maybe once again there will be more broken builds, such as like I think Whirling Assault that they were showcasing in the reveal. It will be kinda bunkers, because honestly Whirling Assault is kinda OP already, just not too many people is playing it currently, because it has the attack time increase, but the ascendancy will remove that one, because it will just only getting the less attack speed modified. So guys, that was the Monk League starter test, and this is the end of this episode as well. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any question or any suggestion, please leave a comment below, or you can find me on twitch.tv/Pidget2. Thanks for watching. I was Pidget. See you next time.